If you act too soon before the energy's lined up, you almost always get a backlash. And that is the whole point of the art of allowing. The art of allowing is just release the resistance and allow. Releasing resistance and allowing are the same thing. Release the resistance and therefore allow. 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 And as a stream begins to carry you, the ideas that then occur to you always bring you the results that you are wanting. It's not possible for you to not get what you're wanting. We're just asking you to look a little further down the road. We just want you to act less and create with your mind more. And you say, but Abraham, I was doing that, and frankly, I just got tired of doing that. And we say, you can't get tired of doing that, because that is the work. Even now, you got to start again from where you are. You rang the doorbell, it didn't turn out well. Now you start again, and you say, it was easier for me before I rang the doorbell. Now I've got that to overcome. And we say, but still you can, but still you can, but still you can. And as you do, more things will come your way.
I want to know, I guess, how I do let go, because there's a part of me that's very tired. And not just from this particular person, but of wanting that match. And I want to be able then, if I have to let go of Fred, if Fred can't be in my future for whatever reason.
Well, we don't want you to let go of Fred, and we don't want you to let go of the essence of Fred. We don't want you to let go of the idea of Fred. We don't want you to let go of the idea of the relationship. We just want you to let go of the resistance, which means we want you to let go of the need to control Fred. How can you feel when you have let go of the control and you are letting the universe do its work on your behalf? How can you tell?
Well, supposedly I feel really good, and I feel relief, and I feel comfortable. Whenever thoughts of him come up and I feel comfortable, then I think that then I'm in the stream. I'm okay. I'm letting go.
And what kind of thoughts are you thinking, and how do they feel when you know that the opposite of that is happening?
When I think, oh God, he'll never like me, it's never going to happen, this is ridiculous, what am I doing? I'm fixated on something.
And which of those kinds of thoughts do you think most?
Well,
in terms of airtime, in other words,
yes,
percentage-wise. Just on a normal day-to-day basis, do you have more positive feelings or negative feelings about the subject of relationship?
I have more concern generally about relationship.
More concern than?
Then, of course it's going to come. Of course Fred will come, or whoever
So
will
you're
come.
saying that more of the time you are pointed upstream than you are downstream. So that accounts for...
More of the time I'm working on it. Do you know what I mean? It's a constant working on with me.
All right. So now you've come around to the subject of this discussion.
Yes.
So is working on it helping?
Obviously not.
So how does one stop working on a situation? How do you stop doing that?
I guess you try to stop thinking about all of it altogether.
Well, what you do is you let your desire for relief be more important for now than your desire for Fred. Mm-hmm. Because both of them are in the same direction.
Right.
And that's why when you say, I'm just weary of this, we say, well, that's a very good sign. Because when you're weary of something, it means that you're getting ready to stop the struggle. You see, we want to convince you that you cannot not get what you want. Right. But you can prolong it by struggling against the current.